WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Quentin Smith. Kim Jong-un had promised to deliver a Christmas gift from North Korea if the U.S. failed to restart denuclearization talks. Now, so far, no such gift has come, but that doesn't mean the military isn't taking the threat seriously. CBS's Barry Peterson has more from South Korea.
Christmas may mean time off elsewhere in the world, but it's training time for American soldiers in South Korea. In these just-released pictures from the Department of Defense, U.S. and South Korean commandos staged a counterterrorism raid. It's another sign of nerves on edge after North Korea's Kim Jong-un promised what North Korea called a Christmas gift. That could be a ballistic missile or nuclear weapons test. The threat is an apparent tactic to pressure the U.S. into lifting economic sanctions on the North. But after meeting Kim, President Trump has rejected that until North Korea abandons its nuclear weapons program. Still, the shadow of that threat could not stop Christmas for American soldiers here to defend South Korea with sweaters that show a mother's love.
So the sweater, I got this from my mom. It was a gift for me leaving to come over here.
Many of these soldiers left family back in the U.S. It makes this a tough and faraway place. Reginald Hill is from Arkansas.
It's one of those times, especially around, the Christmas time. It's festive and you think of family, and being separated from my wife is rough.
Most of the soldiers here are with the Army's 2nd Infantry Division, and considering this latest threat from the North, that division's motto seems ever more appropriate: ready to fight tonight. Barry Peterson, CBS News, Seoul.
Now, those talks with North Korea weren't the only story to make the news this year. There was also a raid that killed an ISIS leader, a fire at one of the world's most historic churches, and a royal sex scandal in Britain. Ian Lee has a look at some of the biggest international events of 2019.
American forces dealt a major blow to ISIS in Syria. The group's leader, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, killed himself when U.S. Special Forces raided his compound. The operation was moved up after President Trump initially ordered troops home from Syria, but then backtracked, leaving roughly 500 to protect the country's oil. The president made denuclearization of North Korea a top priority. But not even multiple summits, including crossing into North Korea, could charm the supreme leader into ending his nuclear weapons program. Tensions rose in the Persian Gulf, with the U.S. blaming Iran for attacking 4 ships and 2 Saudi oil refineries. Widespread protests rocked the country, partially as a result from stinging U.S. sanctions. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's days in office may be numbered after prosecutors indicted him for bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. Hong Kong also saw political turmoil after an extradition bill sparked months of violent unrest and calls for democratic reforms. Suicide bombers in Sri Lanka targeted churches and hotels in coordinated Easter Sunday attacks, killing more than 250 people. A convicted terrorist on early prison release went on a stabbing spree near London Bridge, killing 2 people. Bystanders tackled him to the ground before British police shot and killed him. A white supremacist opened fire at 2 mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand, killing 51 people in the nation's deadliest attack that led to an overhaul of the country's gun laws. A volcano suddenly exploded on a popular tourist island in New Zealand, killing at least 18 people, including an American family. A fire tore through Notre Dame in Paris, destroying part of the famous cathedral. Donors pledged more than $1 billion to restore the landmark. Floodwaters swamped the historic Italian city of Venice, beaching gondolas and trashing hotels. The mayor blamed climate change for the highest tide in 50 years.
How dare you!
Climate activist Greta Thunberg chastised world leaders at the United Nations for not doing enough to stop climate change, inspiring millions around the world to stage protests. British authorities dragged WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange from Ecuador's embassy in London, where he was holed up for 7 years. The whistleblower is facing possible extradition to the U.S. for publishing thousands of classified government documents.
To get Brexit done.
A landslide election victory for British Prime Minister Boris Johnson broke years of Brexit deadlock in Parliament.
But at the time, I felt it was the honourable and right thing to do.
Britain's royal family did damage control after Prince Andrew talked publicly about his ties to convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Congratulations. Thank you.
And Prince Harry and Meghan brought some joy to the royals when they welcomed their first child into the world. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
7-month-old Archie will spend Christmas with his mom and dad this year here in the U.S. and with his grandmother in Los Angeles.
We've had a warm Christmas day around our region. Temperatures well into the 60s and low 70s, if you could believe it. 70 officially in Columbus and in Tupelo today. That's our Louisville, Mississippi Skycam time lapse from this afternoon there downtown Louisville. You can see those friendly clouds moving out through. We still have a blanket of high clouds out there acting like a blanket, keeping us very mild. Look at these temperatures over the last 2 hours, just bobbing up and down around the 50s and low 60s with light wind. And we will have a very mild night tonight, low 50s, upper 40s here. No issues as we look ahead. Pretty mild through the weekend, mostly cloudy Thursday, Friday. Areas of showers Saturday, storms and heavier rain Saturday night into Sunday. We'll talk about that system coming up.
One person is dead following a car accident in Lee County today. The State Highway Patrol says a vehicle traveling eastbound on Highway 178 near Moorville left the road and hit a tree. The driver died at the scene. Now, at this time, the driver's name is not being released until family members have been notified. MHP is investigating this accident, and more information is expected to be released on tomorrow. Well, police have been able to track down and arrest their prime suspect in the death of a Winston County man. According to Louisville Police Chief Sean Holderness, Rushaka Cobb, who you see right here on your screen, was arrested today by the Choctaw Tribal Police. Cobb was arrested at Crystal Ridge Reservation in Winston County. He's accused of killing Lee Andrew Hughes. The body of the 27-year-old victim was found Monday morning at a home on North Court Avenue. The State Bureau of Investigation is assisting in this case. A Christmas Eve raid in Webster County lands several suspects on Santa's naughty list. Webster County Sheriff's deputies and officers from the Mathiston and Eupora Police Departments executed a search warrant at a home on West Figget Avenue in Webster County. Methamphetamine and other drugs were reportedly found during the search. The 4 people who were inside the home at the time are now facing numerous felony and misdemeanor drug charges. The Webster County Sheriff's Department says more arrests are expected in this investigation. Well, we have updates in a pair of aviation accidents that happened right here in North Mississippi. This video you're looking at now was the scene on Interstate 22 near Potts Camp on December 3rd. A Tennessee pilot flying from Tupelo was forced to make an emergency landing when his plane lost power. The National Transportation Safety Board reports show the private plane had made other flights that day, one from Olive Branch to Jackson, Tennessee, and the other flight was from Jackson, Tennessee to Tupelo and then to Olive Branch where the problem developed. The plane's engine stopped once but refired and then quit again 5 minutes later. The preliminary report does not give any signs that the plane had prior problems or that there were any questions about the pilot's flight skills. The National Transportation Safety Board says it will not do an on-site review of the December 18th emergency landing of a plane on Old Highway 25 in Oktibbeha County. The single-engine plane went down near a section of homes on Poorhouse Road. The pilot was slightly injured, but he walked away from the incident. Federal investigators have not published any preliminary reports, but local responders think the plane may have run out of gas. Well, Keith, today is Christmas, and we did not get that Snow White Christmas like I had hoped for.
No. And many folks were. Were you one of them?
I was one of them.
All right. Well, sorry to burst your bubble there, Quentin. We were close. Actually, we were nowhere near close to snow. We actually do have some snow up here across the northern plains. Look at that. In the Dakotas, Minnesota, those lucky folks seeing the wintry weather. Now, as we look ahead and go all the way back into California, that rain out there, that's coming our way for the weekend. We may see a stronger front moving through. We'll talk about that coming up.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
I hope you had a great Christmas, and we started the holiday season on a pretty mild note. Our Alpha Insurance Camera Network, our time lapses, as you can see, we showed you Louisville earlier, Columbus, Tupelo, Vernon, Durham's Pharmacy. No major problems out there today. Shorts, T-shirts needed, flip-flops perhaps. Maybe you were doing a Christmas barbecue. It was one of those kind of days here. Unbelievably warm for this time of year. Now, there's Buttons, really enjoying the fine weather. Most likely enjoying the 50s in the morning, 60s tomorrow afternoon, 50s tomorrow evening. We're going to call it mostly cloudy tomorrow. More clouds and sunshine, I do suspect, but still quite mild, well above the average, about 15 degrees above average here across North Mississippi and West Alabama, and really across the entire region, too. This is the place to be if you want to be mild. No threat of wintry weather right now. 65 in Nashville, low 70s in Jackson and Mobile, 63 in Atlanta, perhaps a little bit more sun out that way, and some low 70s out there in eastern Texas, too. The current regime shows very mild temperatures as of 10:14. We've got some low 50s and low 60s, still in the low 60s in Memphis right now. We mentioned earlier the blanket of high clouds across our region. That's really about it for tonight. Eventually some lower clouds, and that will stay with us for the next few days. Snow flying in the northern plains, and look at this swath of rain and very wet weather in California. That energy is coming our way, and it looks like we're going to get into the southwesterly flow pattern with the upper level jet stream pattern into next week and into the early part of the new year, and that means we may see a couple of these active systems roll on through here, the first of which will be this weekend. A chance for showers here Saturday, some heavier rain possible Saturday night into our Sunday, and maybe another shot at some rain as we get into New Year's Day for the middle of next week. But let's talk about this first system, this weekend front. I think Saturday night into Sunday morning, at this point it looks like a mainly gusty wind and rain affair for us, but as far as the severe weather aspect, favorable wind energy in the atmosphere, but as far as the unstable atmosphere, it looks like that's going to be in the unfavorable category. Will those team up and give us a chance for some stronger storms? We'll wait and see here, but in the near term, we are looking at some mostly cloudy conditions for the next few days. There's the front getting more organized, and we'll move on through here sometime as we get into our Saturday night or Sunday, Quentin. So that will be some active weather for us, some heavy rain possible, too. Some of us could get over 2 inches before we'll see some sunshine from Monday and Tuesday.
Well, Keith, Santa Claus gave us all a good gift today. Nice, warm weather.
Or other people think that they got a lump of coal in their stockings with these 70-degree temperatures. But statistically, let me just say this, the odds of a white Christmas next to 0 down here in the Deep South, so you really shouldn't even expect it.
So were people expecting a white Christmas?
They were, and they were disappointed.
And I say shame on them for expecting it. They should know better. Thanks so much, Keith.
Right.
It's a holly jolly Christmas for Hoops fans. We'll have the highlights for you coming up later in sports. Welcome back. Every 3 seconds somewhere, someone is in need of blood. And this time of year, those emergency supplies can be running a little low. We learned more in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Sandy Kilburn, medical technologist and blood bank supervisor at Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. I want to talk to you some more about blood donation. Here at Baptist Golden Triangle, we transfuse an average of 215 units of red blood cells every month to an average of 92 patients. Recipients include cancer patients, sickle cell anemia patients, patients with other types of anemia, surgery and trauma patients, and premature or sick newborns. As you can see, the need is great, and a reduction in donor turnout can put the blood supply of our nation, our state, and our hospital at a critically low level. Donating blood is a safe process. A sterile needle is used only once and then discarded. Blood donation is a simple 4-step process: registration, medical history and mini physical, donation, and refreshments. Every donor is given a mini physical, checking the donor's temperature, blood pressure, pulse, and hemoglobin to ensure it is safe for the donor to give blood. The actual blood donation typically takes less than 10 to 12 minutes. The average adult has about 10 pints of blood in his body, and roughly 1 pint is given during a donation. A healthy donor may donate red blood cells every 56 days or double red cells every 112 days. All donated blood is tested for HIV, hepatitis B and C, syphilis, and other infectious diseases before it can be released to hospitals. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we'll talk more about donating blood.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle.
And if you would like to make a donation, there will be a blood drive at Baptist Memorial Hospital. It'll take place tomorrow, the 26th. There will be a blood mobile in the ER parking lot. NBA on Christmas Day. We'll have all the highlights from the Celtics and Raptors coming up after the break.
Here's WCBI Sports with Chris Bolton.
Thanks for joining us. So you might be wondering what's going on sports-wise today. No Mississippi State men and women hoops. They're at home chilling. Same thing for Ole Miss. And there's no bowl games today. But we were gifted with one thing, NBA basketball. The first game of the day, the Celtics and Jason Tatum taking on the world champs, the Toronto Raptors. First quarter, Fred VanVleet with the rock. He drives, kicks it to Serge Ibaka. He finds Kyle Lowry. That's 3 of them. That's good. The Raptors take an early 10-0 lead. Later on, Celtics bounce back. Kemba Walker comes off the screen. He knocks it down. That puts the Celtics lead to 20-14. And later on, the Raptors get a steal. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson to the rack. He misses the layup, but Chris Boucher is there for the two-hand putback slam, trying to cut the lead. The Raptors put up a shot, miss it. Gordon Hayward throws the outlet pass. Then a bounce pass from Kemba Walker to Jaylen Brown. Two-hand flush. The Celtics add their lead to 10. Then Jaylen Brown, he starts to go off. He catches a pass from Gordon Hayward. Corner specialist on goal. That's knocked down. Then later on, pick and pop action. Kemba to Brown. Another one. Good. That's a buck. Celtics keep on pouring it on. Then Tatum up top, ISO. Kicks it to Brown, head fake, step back, 3 of them. That's another triple. And then the fourth. It's pretty much a done deal right here. Hayward, no look pass to Brown. In the corner again, wide open. He had a strap tonight. 30 points by Brown. And also former Ole Miss player Terrence Davis had 6 points tonight for the Raptors. But the Celtics, they go on to win this one. The final score for the Celtics, 118-102. Next game of the day, we got the Bucks taking on the Sixers. Giannis trying to stretch that back out, get right for the game. Sixers with the rock. Tobias Harris, he pulls up for the 18-foot jumper. That's good. The Sixers take a 2-point lead. Later on, the process. Joel Embiid in the post. He catches the rock, post spin, knocks down the fadeaway shot. Sixers go up 5 points. Bucks trying to answer. George Hill transition on your head. Transition three-pointer cuts the lead to 5 for the Sixers. Then later on, Embiid, he finds Josh Richardson wide open for a 3. That's a tray ball. That's good. Sixers go up 13. Then the Bucks trying to get back into things. Giannis, he gets a steal. He takes it all the way to the rack. Boom time on your head, Tobias. But the Sixers, they keep things rolling. They go ahead and win this one by a final score of 121-109. Next game of the day, Steph Curry, he's missing. Klay Thompson ain't playing either. Warriors, Rockets, Harden with the rock. He gets it stolen by D'Angelo Russell. He goes all the way to the lane, puts up the little floater. That's good. Warriors up early. Then Russ with the ball. He drives to the lane. Left-hand layup is good. Takes the contact and one. He'll go on to make the free throw. The Rockets take a lead. Harden with the ball. Step back. Good. Doing James Harden things. The Rockets up early. But later on, after a missed shot, Draymond Green gets the rock. He takes it all the way down, coast to coast. Left-hand finish right here, giving the Warriors another lead. Later on in the fourth quarter, James Harden with the ball. Step back. Foul. Good. 4-point play opportunity. Harden misses the free throw, though. And then Draymond Green, he just takes over the game. Kyle Bowman with the ball. He dodged Draymond in the corner. Good. Look at him. Looking like 2016 Draymond. He was knocking down threes. Warriors go up 6. Later, Glenn Robinson, he finds Draymond again, top of the key. That's a bucket. And the Warriors, they go on to win this one. The final score, 116-104. Then the game that just finished not too long ago, the Lakers and the Clippers. Clippers get the win, Quinn. You called it. Kawhi had 35, 12, and 5. Kuzma had a big game for the Lakers.
He did.
But Kawhi did his thing.
I'm telling you, man, Kawhi is a bad, bad man.
He's a bad man.
Who's the king of LA, LeBron or Kawhi?
Right now, looking like Kawhi.
It's looking like Kawhi. And I'm willing to bet these two teams are going to meet in the conference final.
I agree with you.
Whoever wins that series is going to be the king of LA.
There you go.
Appreciate it, Chris. So we'll have a last look at your forecast when we come back.
Mild weather for the next few days here, mostly cloudy, but there will be some rain around this weekend. We'll keep you updated on the latest trends regarding those strong storm chances.
It's another Christmas day in the books, guys. Did Santa Claus pay you a visit, Keith?
He sure did.
Did he pay you a visit, Chris?
Yes, he did.
He did not pay me a visit. I guess I was naughty.
Quentin, you were bad this year.
I'm going to change it up next year.
Please do.
Thank you all for watching us. Have a good night.